Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Social Media Fridays, episode 90. Each week we meet here to talk about what happened this week in the world of social media. Topics of interest are posted on the Social Media Fridays on Monday community on Google+. You can post your own and you can even join us. We'd love to have you join us. All right. Our first topic this week, the six most important things you know about Facebook's reactions. Let's whip through these tonight, guys. Not that quickly.
Yeah, so we now have Facebook reactions on Facebook, which means that you can express different emotions instead of just liking something. And so it's been rolled out, I think, everywhere now. And this article, I posted this article just because I felt we needed to talk about the new Facebook reactions. And the article itself talks about how to find them, how you're going to use them. You can only use one, but you can change them later. Um, and Facebook will show top 3 reaction types on the post, so next to the thumbs up button. And you can still, see who reacted in what manner. So how many people were surprised, how many people liked it, etc., etc. And it may affect what you're going to see in your feed, in terms of I suppose, how you react to certain stories, and how those stories are then, in a sense, perceived by others. So Facebook will have a better idea of what kind of posts you like to see in your stream and how you react to those posts in your feed.
Yep.
Interestingly, I remember Mastaki, we did talk about reactions when it was under news that there would be reactions on Facebook, and we remember discussing about how it would replace a like button, because it's always a controversy when you're replacing something, when it's a primary area, like the like buttons, the page likes. So we talked about it, how it's going to influence people, because what would it do if somebody dislikes it? Would it, remove a like from it? How would it really work? So it was pretty controversial when it came along. But I think what Facebook did with this is very interesting, because, you know, as soon as you hit a heart button or a like, or any other buttons, that reactions that you have, 6 different, how many reactions are there in total? I think it's not more than 5 or 6. I still need to check that. But now how it really works is whenever you click a reaction, there's auto like on it. So you can simultaneously see the different reactions from people, different people. At the same time, there is additional like to whatever post you have. So that's something different. That's something I think is a great pointer, because it was a controversy back then. So they did come out very well, and I see a lot of people are using reactions who has updated their systems, especially on mobile apps. They are rigorously using it, because I did get a lot of reactions, like or heart. So it was fun. It's, I think, fun.
Yeah, the reactions are, well, there's the like button, so the thumbs up. There's love, which is the heart. Ha ha, which is the laughing face. Yay, which is the sort of the happy face. And then wow, which is the big mouth, open mouth. Sad with the tear dropping, and angry. So there's sort of 6 in addition to the like button. It makes sense to me. I mean, if you share something that you read and you're not happy about, you're very angry about something, then liking something. Sorry, let's start again. So let's say you share something. Let's say a news story that annoys you a lot, makes you angry, and then you post it on your feed, on your wall, and then other people, who are like-minded like you, are equally annoyed and angered by what they read. Until now, they could only like that post, which is sort of a bit weird, isn't it? So instead, they can express anger, equal anger, as the original poster. So I think that goes well. Then again with sad, my pet hamster died. People didn't want to like that because it's not positive news, but you wanted to show support to the person who has lost his or her pet hamster, and you can express your sadness. So I think that it really does help in communicating, between users.
Yes, but I mean, is it a good thing to encourage people not to use an actual sentence? Are we going to lose that ability to actually express ourselves? I mean, the average Facebook user is a vegetable. It has I don't know, the emotion of a packet of turnips in the fridge, and I just wonder whether LOL is a big sentence for them. I just wonder whether this is going to be helpful or not.
Where do you buy your turnips?
Well, at Aldi.
That explains it. No, I think it helps because sometimes you don't want to spend the time to write out a sentence, but you do want to acknowledge that you read something, and then you want to show support or agreement with that, with the poster. So in that sense, it might just help. And you could say, well, that's a bit lazy, that's a shorthand, but I don't know.
Okay. You go on. Go ahead,
Richard. I think it makes sense because sometimes people do want support, agreement, or acknowledgement, right? That their posts have been read, that they exist, as it were, and a reaction, Facebook reaction, is better than nothing in that respect.
Of course, it'd be very good for Facebook to be able to determine which users are made angry by something, or it'll make it even easier for them to profile their users, won't it?
Yeah, I think in the end it's about.
I want to cut you guys here for a moment. My eyes just popped out because Jim is talking about Facebook. Jim is talking Facebook. I have a huge reaction here. If this was Facebook, I would have made a comment as well. I would have probably made a comment. No, I would have actually made a definite comment. If Jim was on Facebook right now and I could hear him saying this, my eyes popped out and a big comment.
No, but
so would I get an angry emoticon?
No, just eyes popping out and saying, "Oh my God!"
Well, that'd be the wow, I think.
Yeah, it's shock or something, but yeah, I would have definitely made a reaction with a comment.
Yeah, but would it be a wow, you are a complete jerk, Jim Monroe, or wow, yeah, that makes sense?
Wow, Jim is talking Facebook. News of the hour.
All right.
But going back to the point about why Facebook is doing it, and I think Jim's certainly right. It's about having a better profile of the user, and it's useful for advertisements. I mean, it given it'd be interesting. Politics is always interesting in this respect because I think even now, the likes of Facebook probably um, you know they probably have enough data to guess which political orientation, or section or opinion that you hold. But more data is always a good thing. And if you are, campaign manager or politician, then having these kind of data is absolutely fantastic because you can really segment different demographics in terms of political opinion.
But I'm not sure whether it's still on pages because I didn't notice this on my page yet. I did notice this on my profile on Facebook, but let me see. Let me check simultaneously. We're doing this because I doubt if it's active for pages.
No, it doesn't have to be pages. It's about the profile itself, the people who so can.
But profile doesn't give you. I think. Okay. Yeah. It could give you for campaigners. It's a great tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
Yes.
say I want to target, I don't know, this gender, this particular age group who hold these political views as an advertiser. You could, it just doesn't have to be politics. It can be income levels, what kind of cars they like, or what kind of stories they agree with most, what makes them angry, are they conscious about the environment, all these kind of things. So they can segment as they can segment and then target as a demographic.
Exactly, Mr. Tuggy. I mean, they can even use a non-action as a guide. For argument's sake, if you view the post and they know that you've viewed, which post you viewed, and you don't click a like button, they can, they can deduce that you may not like whatever the post was about.
But you're not angry enough to put the angry button. So that's going to be interesting how they're going to interpret those data because people will act differently. But if you have how many billion users they have, I mean they probably get a very, very good view of who you are in terms of all sorts of things, whether it's politics or consumer products.
They even know that I don't like Facebook since I closed my account and I've now been clean for 2 years.
But honestly, if you have to look at campaignings, if you look at that political point of view, I think they did miss a couple of other buttons that should be available, slapping and drooling or something, different reactions too, because for campaigners, that's pretty important. Missing a lot of buttons there.
Yeah, I think
6 is
that's.
just not enough.
I think that the problem for Facebook was that they had to avoid a situation where someone perceived a particular emotion as being the equivalent of a dislike button. I think that's because that could really have nasty repercussions, um, and that's something that they had to avoid. I think, and they have avoided. And I think those emotions may not be particularly wide-ranging, but I think it's varied enough to generate enough data without the platform becoming nasty, because I think there was a risk of that. If you had, say, if you have dislike button, disagree button, or oh, it's totally rubbish, what on earth are you talking about? Reaction, then that really, could have turned a bit nasty. So
I
that made sense.
I agree, because what Jim did 2 years ago, most of the politicians would have been doing the same if those were additions. Uh, Abandoning Facebook, of course. That's what I mean. Jim doing 2 years ago. But I think Jim actually made a very valid point, and somewhere down the line, I feel, because having reactions on Facebook is basically because people connect, people talk, people comment, right? And like was one of the expression that gave people, reason to click and then comment. Uh, but now with with reactions, I'm not sure exactly to what extent of percentage, but Jim did make a very interesting point that we could be seeing a lot of comments to be, the percentage of commenting would probably drop down. And I think within a week or so, Facebook would be able to tell how much, people are just reacting and not actually commenting, because the only with the advantage was there with the like button, that you could press like, or you just didn't press like but made a comment. Now you can just make a reaction and not actually comment, because that pretty much means the same. You don't have to add anything extra. But so the personal touch of those, you know, um, the personal touch that people had on Facebook would probably drop down, because you're not commenting, you're just making a, reaction alike. That's it. So it's I think it's a very interesting question, and probably Facebook might share or might not share, but we could be probably seeing a lot of drop down on comments.
And of course, the greater majority of Facebook users don't know the full alphabet. LOL is about the extent of it. Um, anyway, let's move on from this, because I want to be finished before Masataki is taken away by ambulance. I've just realised that I didn't introduce you guys. Masataki resides at Wimbledon in the UK, Maher in New Delhi in India. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net, WASAWEB.net, and he's also a Google top contributor on the AdSense and Google Plus Help community. Meher Bhagat is a human resources specialist and a social media queen. All right.
And Jim is a great swimmer. He loves swimming, and he's a great host.
Ah, really? Um, Twitter adds to the new video tweet feature on its mobile app. Tell me about this, guys, because maybe we should be. Video time is only 30 seconds. That might be a problem with a Hangout. It takes us more than 30 seconds to get through the introductions. So they're looking more at Vine type posts, are they?
Oh, this was posted by me. Yeah, it's pretty much 30 seconds of video. Yeah, probably like Wine, because Wine does allow you to have locations, and lot of other things are there on Wine. But Twitter is basically just, as you have 140 characters for a tweet, now you can tweet a video, a video tweet for 30 seconds. And the only difference that I noticed was that the quality, I remember talking about this earlier, but quality does decrease a bit. And Twitter takes at least 30 seconds to 1 minute to actually approve that video tweet. It just doesn't go live immediately, so that people do not misuse the platform. I kind of liked it. I did only, I think, two video tweets, but I remember that I haven't used any other video platforms for a quick thing, but I did use Twitter, maybe because I like Twitter.
Okay. Looks like Masataki is already in the ambulance. Let's.
I'm still here,
All right. Cool.
just about.
All right. Let's go on to the next. Facebook for non-profits. Facebook brings an exclusive platform for non-profit organisations. And yes, you can use your existing page as well, as long as it is set as a non-profit organisations category on Facebook.
And plus approved. I missed that part. And approved. You need to be a certified NGO to use this exclusive platform on Facebook, and it's just not, you can basically do it via your page, but you also have a separate platform, for like for campaigning and all, on ads, that you have a separate URL. For even this platform, they have a separate URL. So I didn't actually get to experiment a lot with it because I don't have an NGO that I have actually, put it as this particular format on Facebook. So I didn't get to test a lot. Did you guys check it out much in detail? Because it seems interesting. I mean, Facebook did do a lot of charity stuff, and there was fake news. Let me have a look. I don't think until you are in the system, you can get too much of access. There's just promoting platform that is given. And you can basically okay, so there are 4 options that you can do. You can get started, raise awareness, you can have, you can activate supporters, you can raise funds. There are 4 objectives that Facebook is offering on this platform. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the next. We might even make it before Masataki passes on.
Stop killing me off.
All right, more on Facebook. Facebook plans to put ads inside the Facebook Messenger. I won't read all the rest of it. Tell us about this one.
Okay. Like Facebook actually really likes to put ads everywhere. They want to really put in the messenger too, but what it's still an unclear, vague article because it's really not official in detail. But what I could make of the article was that um, not everyone would be seeing those ads. Not all profiles or people using Messenger would be seeing those ads, but pages whose messengers, they would be probably allowed to market their services to people who've liked their page. I don't know how it's actually going to work because it's pretty much vague, but the idea is again disturbing because a lot of people have actually moved to Messenger because it's easy, it's convenient, and getting ads on it's scary because I don't use Messenger much. But now if I see ads, I would probably delete that from my iPhone. So it doesn't make sense to add ads in the Messenger, especially for people, for pages, for business users, because what they really plan to do is to let them and it's pages or business, vice versa. They would be allowed to advertise to their people who've liked their pages. Yeah. But it's still a vague thing because it's not clear, it's not much in detail. They would be probably disclosing all details in second quarter, so we would be expecting something in April, May, or June. So not much in detail yet. But the idea itself is disturbing because a lot of people use, it's a higher percentage of people who use Facebook Messenger. And Jim doesn't use it, not even Facebook.
All right. Let's call this one covered. And let's just, let me see, we'll tweet that. Yep. And the next one, fake girlfriend. Now, Masataki put this note, if this service seems sad to you, then don't laugh, but just be thankful. Many users, Mr. Tabor said, use the service for companionship. Someone to text for a chat now and then.
So
yeah, I don't know. Fake girlfriend. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
So, sort of fake girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, that has been a business that has been going on for some time. So this BBC reporter, as an experiment, created an account, I think, a few years ago, in which essentially someone purporting to be his girlfriend would be posting on his Facebook wall, so that if someone else looked at the wall, then it seemed as if he had, as if he was in a relationship. And of course, he could update his relationship status on Facebook as well. So there's that. And now it's slightly, so it's sort of revisiting that business model, and still going on strong. You choose the kind of profile and what kind of reactions, what kind of posts, and apparently it's actual people behind that. So so it is actually humans writing to your walls and sending you messages. So what it seemed to be is that there are different reasons why people are using these services. One is to, in a sense, show to others that they are, in a happy relationship. But as the excerpt indicates in Mr. Tabo, and what Mr. Tabo said, is that some people just want interaction. They're not necessarily there trying to pretend that they're in a relationship. Rather, that they want to have someone to have some sort of communication with another person, another being. So it's not about showing to the outside world as such, it's about them and fulfilling their needs to have someone to talk to, someone to communicate with. If you, and as as Mr. Tadwell said, it may seem sad to many people, but the people who may be lonely on social media networks, and I can see why people might choose to pay for this kind of service.
Yeah, I wonder if Facebook will have to add another option for the status, like you'd have to say in a fake relationship maybe.
Yeah, so as I said, I think there are different reasons why people do it, because some people just want to create an illusion, right, that they are in a relationship, that the audience isn't about others as much as about them. In a sense, they're pretending to project an image to others. Whereas in this case, it's about them. That, in a sense, they don't really care about what other people think as such. They want to have someone to talk to.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, in effect, most people on Facebook are living a pretense anyway. They put forward a version of themselves which is not the real them. So this is not really a whole lot different, is it?
Yeah, but then that's true of anyone in any situation. I mean, when you interact with someone else, you're always, trying to be a particular person. I mean, it's only really with family and friends, close friends, that you could be yourself, inverted commas, right? Otherwise, if you're in a work situation, there are certain restraints, there are certain social mores and standards that you have to observe in terms of communicating with people, what you can do, what you can say, what you can demand of other people. And that's different. That's maybe true for a larger circle of friends. You're not going to do certain things with them. You have to project things. If you're with, a bunch of people who likes to go for a drink, then you're going to into that mode of being a happy, jolly drinking person. If you're in a particularly sober and serious environment, then you probably adhere to that standard. So in that sense, we're always projecting what we're always projecting something that's not true self. It's not our true selves, if you like. Obviously, perhaps it's easier and more accentuated online. It's not obvious, sorry, I shouldn't have said obviously, but it might be easier and more accentuated online to project more of an illusion. But I think it's a matter of degree rather than a fundamental difference, because we always, I think, project a personality, a persona, different elements of ourselves depending on situation, depending on whom we're interacting with. But that's part of it. But it's not totally fake. We're not trying to be fake. We're just emphasizing certain aspects of our personalities and, if you like, repressing other bits depending on the situation. So the question to me is whether are we doing that more online than offline? And I think if that is the case, that online it's more, I think it's more accentuated.
Yeah.
I I agree. It's more of a personal choice. There are people who have a girlfriend and basically tell people online and offline that they don't have a girlfriend. Now, there are people who don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but they're showing people, be it a fake person, that is my girlfriend or a boyfriend. So I think it's a matter of personal choice, but I don't know. I would probably tell them get a life because having a fake person next to you doesn't make sense. You can basically hang out with a friend, or if they really have to hang out with somebody, or you know, use them, go for a dinner or drinks, or have a real person. I mean, like they are real. There's no doubt, but faking a relationship is, oh man, that's completely a different orientation, and especially using a dedicated platform for it. I don't know how they are actually doing it, but it does sound very complex. And I think it's bottom line. It's a matter of personal choices.
But
But it's a good experiment, I believe. It's a great experiment.
but fake partners, fake boyfriends, fake girlfriends exist in real life. You can hire people to be your fake partner.
Yeah.
Um, so in that sense, it's not restricted to online. It happens in real world as well.
Hmm. Now, see, when you know a person in real life, you can still have some trust there. That for some reason there would be a trust because you're telling that person to basically lie about a fake relationship. Now, you would only ask a person or pay a person for that, maybe, whatever the uh, scenario is. But you know, getting online and doing it then and there, it's completely a complex state because you don't want other person to be a psychopath. I don't know, but see, when it comes to an offline and online dimensions, um, I would have to definitely say there are much more risk factors when it comes to online factor. So I don't know how this particular system works, but it definitely sounds complex and it's interesting. People
Yeah,
people do that. People do that. It's interesting.
and it's going to be more and more interesting because in India and China, there is a huge gender imbalance now. There, in other words, there are many more men than women. So um, I can see this growing because there would be social pressure for people to be in a relationship, and this sort of the real life fake partner is I think has been a pretty big business in China, for example, and it exists in Japan as well. But it's a different situation. In China, there is a bit of an imbalance in terms of genders, um, and because of the one-child policy, um, if you are a man, you have essentially two parents or grandparents um, who are looking at you um, to find you to find himself a partner, and there is quite a lot of familial and social pressure for people to do so, and therefore employing a fake partner is a big business. When we translate that online, in a sense that because a fake partner can be only a fake partner to one person at a given time, but an online fake partner can be a partner to many different people, because essentially what you're doing is you're sitting there, you're responding to posts, etc., um, even if manually, and it may take time, but it's still possible to be a fake partner to more than one person at the same time. You send a message one after another. Whereas if you are real life fake, that sounded odd, um, then you can only be with one person at any given time.
Hmm.
I don't know. Anything can happen anytime. It's interesting, actually. I wonder the percentage of people and the reasons they have. I would be more interested in that number because, like as you said, people who are parents and grandparents, the kind of expectation is there. Um, uh, you know, even looking at the dimensions for people who are, you know, I'm sorry I'm saying this out, but yes, people who are gays and all, and if they have complexity at their family place, I think it's a great cover up for them. But people, countries with open, policies, they're pretty much uh, liberal in that state. But sometimes there is a pressure from parents and society pressures. There are a lot of other different pressures, and I think it's a great tool for them. It's a great accessory for them. Um, but yeah, I think it's interesting. I would love to see the numbers and the kind of percentage, for different reason. That would be an interesting study, I guess. But I think, again, personal choices, personal preferences, personal reasons, right? Everyone does it for.
Yeah. Well, have we had enough of fake girlfriends?
I think we did.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, so we're at the thank you for watching stage, and if you're still with us, we thank you for your participation. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do this all again. Don't forget that you can post your own topics into the Social Media Fridays on Monday community on Google+. But for now, it's good night. Now I've got to rapidly look for the close button. Can't find